Hey everyone, it's Jay here at Aries Think Tank. Today we're going to be talking about the four types of operant conditioning, which are positive and negative reinforcement and positive and negative punishment. All four types of operant conditioning, and we're going to be looking over examples, some test questions you might run into, and different ways professors might trip you up, and ways to remember the differences on a test. Just real quick, remember that punishment is attempting to decrease a behavior, while reinforcement is attempting to increase a behavior or response as well. So please stay tuned here with Aries Think Tank. Positive reinforcement happens whenever you give something like a reward to a subject whenever they're displaying a desired behavior. And later on, they'll associate the behavior with the reward, and they'll do it more frequently. The reward is considered a reinforcing stimulus. Some examples of positive reinforcement might be giving your dog a treat every time they sit down, or giving a child a treat or a candy or something like that, or like a little toy every time they successfully use the bathroom while they're learning to potty train, which actually does work. My wife and I had to do that for our son when he was younger, and it definitely did reinforce the good behavior, the wanted behavior of him using the bathroom successfully. Or another one might be if your employee is doing a good job, give them a raise or a verbal compliment, and that'll keep showing the positive or desired behavior that that person is showing. Which we do have a video on our channel about increasing employee productivity using psychology. So if that's something you might be interested, go ahead and check that video out. We'll throw a link in the bottom as well. So negative reinforcement is encouraging a specific behavior also, but by removing or avoiding a negative consequence or stimulus instead. So some examples of negative reinforcement might be, for example, if you go out and hang out at the beach and you don't put on sun tanning lotion or sunblock or something like that, you're gonna get a sunburn. So eventually you're gonna start putting on the lotion before you go out so you don't get sunburned. So it's really important to know the difference between negative and positive reinforcement, because you're going to get a lot of questions asking, for example, if an owner shows the dog a treat to sit down, is it positive or negative reinforcement? Or if a child is cleaning a kitchen so they don't get yelled at by their parents, is it positive or negative reinforcement? Those are the kind of questions you might run into. But the biggest difference between positive and negative reinforcement is one is adding a wanted stimulus, while the other is removing an unwanted stimulus. The positive punishment is whenever you add a consequence to an unwanted behavior. For example, if a child doesn't do a chore, then their parents might add extra chores to correct that behavior. Or if someone is running late for work, they might be speeding, and an officer gives them a ticket as a punishment. So essentially, the idea is they're giving or adding a consequence to something that they shouldn't be doing in order to correct the behavior. The parents are giving the child extra chores so that the child does the original chores in the first place, and law enforcement or police officers are giving people speeding tickets so that they don't speed. So negative punishment, on the other hand, is when you're taking away a favorable stimulus whenever an undesirable behavior or response does pop up. For example, if a teenager comes home late after curfew, the parents might take away their cell phones. If an employee isn't doing their job, or if they're not being productive at work, an employer might take away their pay or reduce their pay for the day or a few hours. So positive, negative punishment, they're both trying to correct a behavior, but with positive punishment, remember, you're adding something. And negative punishment, you're taking something away that they want. And on a test question, it might be if a teenager is late for curfew and their parents take away their phone, is it A, positive punishment, B, negative punishment, C, positive reinforcement, or D, negative reinforcement? So on these test questions, they're going to try to trip you up. But anytime you see punishment, just remember positive is adding, negative is taking something away that they want. And that way it might help you remember on a test question. But remember that the target of this is to correct a behavior that is unwanted, whether by adding something or taking something away through punishment. Hey everyone, if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow a lot. We're still just getting started. We do have other videos for psychology majors, like top careers in psychology, reasons to be a psychology major. If you're not even a psychology major, we even have videos on how to use psychology in everyday life, like increasing employee productivity. But keep following us. We have a lot more videos coming out. So thank you all so much.